Welcome to the Mind Shift podcast. Join Rocio Perez, your mental performance strategist, as she navigates you through inspiring journeys with global experts, explore breakthrough insights, and awaken the potential within you wherever you are in life. Get ready to transform your personal growth. Here's Rocio to guide you.
Hello, everyone. I'm right here with one of my favorite guests, Jeffrey Vargas. And today we're talking about leadership and we're talking about how do we become even greater contributors. We're talking about the ABCD method, and you're in for a huge treat. Welcome, Jeffrey, to the show.
Hey, Rocio, thank you so much for the opportunity to hang out with you, have conversation, talk a little bit about leading well in an environment that is under constant change. I think that's probably the one thing, if you're in leadership, a leadership position now, or you're aspiring to be a leader in the future, the one thing you can bank on for sure, things are going to change. No matter where you are or where you think things are today, good chance that they're going to change and be something a little bit different tomorrow.
And that's fascinating, right? Because a lot of us are not used to change. I mean, as human beings, we're not programmed to be in love with change. We're probably more in love with negativity than what we are with change. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of research behind that, why that happens, and like the shortest path to success. That's really what we're focused on, right? That was back in the days when we were cave people, right? Cavemen and cave women. But today we're in a very different environment. Now, Jeffrey, I want to talk about your ABCD because you have a very interesting twist. I'm really excited to hear your take on what's important from a leadership perspective.
Yeah, I'm a mentee of a gentleman named Dr. Ken Blanchard. He's one of the top leadership, really masterminds in the world, and he's been at this thing for nearly 50 years. And humbly, you never know why, but he took a shine to me more than a decade ago, and I had the opportunity to learn from him. And he wrote a book, a couple of years back called Four Steps to Building a High Trust Work Environment. And he really spelled out, and I've adopted, and I work with organizations on adopting, both on the individual organizational level, what are really called the ABCDs of trust. If you're a leader, your employees follow you when they know you see them, you hear them, and you value them. And one of the ways you can exercise that is by using the language of trust, recognizing when you're using the language of distrust, and then practicing the ABCD of trust, which is Dr. Blanchard points out. The language of trust, we got to be really careful because in it, I'll give you an example. You and I are working together, Rocio, and you're doing great work, which is actually the truth. You do great work, and so and during the process of our conversation, I just say to you, you know what, Rocio, there's that. We're working on that big thing, but I know it sounds crazy because we have to get it done by 4 today. But I trust you. You're really good at writing and putting things together, and so. Yeah, I mean, whenever you hand it in is cool, but I know 4 o'clock you'll get it done. I trust you. If I say that in a group, in a room full of 5, 6, 10 other people, what everybody heard in there wasn't that the project is done at 4. What they heard is the leader trusts. I used what's called a micro promotion in a public setting, in an environment, to tell you, and oh, by the way, everybody else that works with you, that I trust you.
It's almost like affirming people. You're
Yes.
affirming them until you confirm. They hear it, they hear it, they hear it, until they confirm, like, wow, like they really trust me. They got
And trust is so important. The language of distrust sounds like you're working on a project and you present it, and I say, well, Rocio, I'm not comfortable with that right now. And I'm going to ask you to work with Mary and Joe for a while. And then once they okay it and present it to me, then I'll be ready to have a conversation going forward.
it.
Here's the language that I use there. I do not trust your work. I
Mm,
have to have others be involved. And I've said that in a public setting. And so every day we have the capacity to build and increase the currency of trust or devalue and decrease the currency of trust, just like the value of the dollar, right?
mhm,
Against the yen or against
mhm,
the euro. It goes up and down based on a lot of different factors.
mhm.
And the best way for you and I to increase our trust currency with our team and how you as a team member, an individual contributor can increase your trust currency is focus on the ABCD of trust. What do we mean by that?
Mm,
A stands for are you able?
mm,
So do people, so I'm the leader and I see that you're able because you're producing results, you're getting things done, you demonstrate competence. Are you believable? Do you act with integrity? Here's such an important one. Do you treat people equally? Do
mm,
you act consistently, right? Connected. Do
mm.
you share information about yourself? Great leaders embrace moments of vulnerability.
Mm.
It is not to manipulate, it is to inform.
And elevate.
And when you do that, it changes. And then the last of the ABCDs is dependable. One
Mm.
should never question whether or not you're dependable. And how do you demonstrate your dependability? You're organized.
Through action.
You're accountable for yourself and you're reliable. You follow through on what you say you're going to do. Everyone says, I want to work for a leader like that. And every leader says, I want to have an employee who does that. What if we both did that? The ABCDs of trust produce organizational synergy. Organizational synergy increases organizational effectiveness and efficiency. Everyone wins.
Right. And then the twist on that, as you said, right there from the individual, am I accountable to myself? Do I believe that I can do it? Am I connected? Like that whole self-efficacy of it, because we have this mind chatter, we have it anywhere from 35,000
Wow.
decisions that we're making to 40,000 decisions a day. Okay. Our mind already is making thoughts, right? Like it's producing thoughts just like popcorn, right? Just think about it. 60,000 thoughts to
Yeah.
70,000 thoughts a day, 70 thoughts of those. Imagine that. It's like, just
Yeah.
take 70. What do they actually say to me? What am I saying to myself? And how do
It's amazing we get anything done because our mind, the synapses are going crazy in so many different directions that, there's an old Native American saying, and it says, you have to go slow to go fast.
yes.
And when you're 25, you go, there's no way in the world I'm not doing it. I got a hard charge. But here's the thing. If you focus on making your presence count, you don't have to focus on being present for everything and everyone in every moment.
I love that. I love that. It's a very different twist, right? Because we think that the more we do, the more we get done. And
Yeah.
I'd say yesterday on my weekly inspiration call that I have on a global call, individuals came to me like, wow, to see I'm on the treadmill. I'm trying to write on the treadmill. And it's like, it's being present here now
Mm,
so that
mm,
you can get the most out of this experience because we're missing the opportunity to self-reflect
mhm.
when we're doing too many things at once. If I'm on
Yeah.
the treadmill, just like think about it.
Yeah.
I'm inviting you for dinner. I
Yeah.
have 5 things that I want to cook, and I'm trying to cook them all at the same time. It's impossible. I would like to cook one thing
Yeah.
and then cook the main thing. And if I have time to cook the other things, I'll
Yeah.
take care of those. And in the meantime, focus on what's going to give me the greatest joy.
And celebrate you and celebrate the success in the moment. There's a professor out of Stanford named Dr. BJ Fogg, and
Mm,
he wrote a book called Tiny Habits, right? And one of the secrets to creating and exercising and engaging a habit, he says, we do best when we just do a little thing, but we celebrate the fact that we did it.
yeah.
So a person wants to become a marathon runner. Well, the first thing you should do is find the track. Find the track you want to run on, then drive to it, then one day get out of your car, then one day walk on it for 30 seconds, a minute, and then one day 5 minutes. So you see, it's allowing yourself the progression of success and the celebration of success during that progression, because you got to be your best and loudest and most consistent cheerleader.
I love that, the progression of success, because that's exactly what we teach with the mind shift experience. It's
Mm,
everything about that. It's easy to tell somebody, here's the 10 things. Let me give you this piece of paper, this manual, this book, this whatever. Go do that. When in reality, it's those little things done properly over and over again that will continue to create those new neural pathways that
I
are.
tell folks all the time, like when you're starting your business, first thing you do is you create the system to get paid and you practice paying yourself, right? So if it's a
Mm,
credit card charge, how does that look? Well, I'll charge myself $5 on this credit card and send myself a receipt. Some people say, well, that sounds silly. Oh, it does not. Because you don't want to learn how to do that when you're processing your first payment, right? So you want to have the progression of success show up in every aspect of your life. And when it comes to you as an individual contributor, the first area of progression is your own presence.
yes.
How are
Take
you
care.
showing up mind, body, and soul?
Mm.
Like if I walk in the room, I want you to know I care about you, not to manipulate you, but I want you to know I care about you so that we can create synergy and opportunity together. And if I don't care about you, then I got to question myself as a leader, because as a leader, this is tough for some of my friends that are leaders. This is a nudge moment. I'm gonna nudge you a little bit. If you've been called to or you're in the position of leading, you got to care about the people you lead. Punto.
Yes. And it's about humanity. It's about people first. It's about ensuring that everybody is taken care of and the rest gets taken care of in the end. I love it. Last minute tips right here, Jeffrey. Like, what are some of the things that you would share with our audience that have made a huge impact in your career? Because I know you're very successful in everything that you do.
Yeah. I think one of the things that has been, sort of a benchmark for me or an area of consistency is that I was willing to give before I would get and offer before I would ask. I would volunteer to help you to be successful before I got any sunshine in it. And a lot of people are like that's counterintuitive. If you follow, another leadership guru, Dr. Gary V or Simon Sinek, these are actual examples and thoughts that they also echo, right? Um, Gary Vee talks about be the kindest person in the room. Wait a minute, no, Jeff, I'm a cutthroat leader. I get stuff done. Fast forward, you've done that for 35 years. You're at your retirement. And when you are experiencing that picture, plaque, and pose with a gold watch, or however you retire out of the program processor system you're in, what you see in front of you is not what people are saying behind you,
Mm.
because your character wasn't one of you can care and get stuff done. See, that's the difference, right? Part of it is exercising also the beauty and the power of permission. So if we're working together and things aren't working the way you expected, Simon Sinek talks a lot about this as well. If I see something that's not right, I care about you too much to leave you in that place. Do I have do I have your permission to kind of talk deep about something that I saw? And if you say no, and I'm your boss, well, that tells me that A, you're not doing a good job and you're not interested in feedback. That's a problem, right? We got
Right.
Houston, we got a problem.
Houston, we have a huge problem on there.
But if you
Jeffrey,
say
thank you
yes, it's a game
so.
changer.
It is. That is a game changer. Thank you so much for bringing these thoughts, these insights, who you are, what you do with you, and for shining your beautiful light upon this world and giving us all of those tips that will help us become an even greater version of ourselves, a greater leader, a great individual that can continue to shine their light and their magic.
Well, Rocio, it's you that should be thanked because your mind shift game is changing lives. So thank you for letting myself, my company, have a chance to hang out with you for a bit.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Thank you for joining us today on the Mindshift podcast. Rocio hopes you've been inspired and gained insights to fuel your journey of personal growth. Remember to subscribe and share this episode with friends who are also exploring their potential. Leave us a review to help spread the message. Rocio says, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring your potential with us. Until next time, goodbye.